Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. I always check out things related to Finland and NATO just to see, how things is going. And today we're gonna be checking out Sweden right beside us. Beside us, because I live in Finland now. Anyways, so we're gonna be checking out this one about Sweden's impact on NATO. This is coming from the official NATO YouTube channel on YouTube. So let's see what Sweden brings to NATO, because I think Finland brings a lot, I'm saying, top dog, right? But let's see what Sweden got. I don't know much about Sweden. As time goes, I'll know more, but I do know quite a lot about Finland. Obviously, if I'm living in the country, I gotta learn a little bit of the important stuff. You know what I mean? So we're gonna be checking out this video right now. So if you guys have any recommendations, leave those in the comment section down below. Click that link in the pinned comment section. It's a Google form, and you can recommend videos, and I'll check them out as soon as possible. Without further ado, let's check it out.
Right now, in this area, this is my office. This is my home ground, and it's well worth defending.
For more than 2 centuries, Sweden kept a position of military neutrality, but in 2024, that changed.
I always call that the mother of all unintended consequences for Russian strategic thinking. If Russia had one objective with Sweden and Finland, it was to keep them outside of the alliance, and by Russia's full-scale invasion, now we are part of NATO.
But what does this Nordic nation...
Hey, that K-35 looking good, boy. Let me see that K-35 again. Oh yeah, that thing is beautiful. That thing is beautiful.
But what does this Nordic nation, home to 10.5 million people, bring to the NATO alliance?
We do not come empty-handed. We do bring a lot of humility as a new ally, but we also bring a lot of capability. So we definitely want to see ourselves as a net provider of security.
In March 2024, Sweden saw its flag raised above NATO headquarters in Brussels, becoming the 32nd member of the NATO alliance.
It's good now that Sweden has a seat at the table that provides us a better opportunity to have influence, but also take responsibility for the alliance.
Putin's full-scale invasion of Ukraine the turning point for a country that would otherwise have stayed militarily neutral, as it had done for the past 200 years.
Supporting Ukraine is both the right thing to do and it's a smart thing to do. Of course, this is about decency and it's about humanity and standing up for the Ukrainian people, but it is also upholding principles which are crucial for a smaller country like Sweden. Rule of law, the European security order, and a rules-based international order.
As the nation with the longest coastline on the Baltic Sea, a key strategic waterway connecting northern and eastern Europe, and with its proximity to the Arctic, Sweden's position in Europe is key to Euro-Atlantic security.
Leaning on the many years of close partnership with NATO, we have embraced a lot of the methodology that comes with standardization and building interoperability. We can now plan and work together, not as a unique entity, but as an integral part of NATO.
As a militarily neutral nation, over the years Sweden manufactured its own military hardware, which was adapted to meet the challenges of the country's unique terrain and climate. Today, Sweden continues to produce advanced equipment, including submarines, combat vehicles, and the Gripen fighter jet. But arguably, it's
I never knew y'all be making your own thing. Hold on, y'all be making submarines, fighter jets? Y'all well capable. That's crazy. Like, I know this is gonna sound horrible, but I being honest, I only thought that United States, Russia, China. I was thinking they're the only ones be making most of these things, but hey, now I know something. That is quite impressive. I did not know that.
Combat vehicles and the Gripen fighter jet. But arguably its most groundbreaking achievement is the Visby-class corvette.
It's a multitasking ship. We can use it for submarine hunting and we can use it for air defense and also for the surface operations.
The Visby-class corvette is a stealth ship. Its design helps it avoid detection by radar and other sensors, making it very hard to spot. And its ability to navigate through shallow waters makes it ideal for Baltic Sea operations.
Our profession is to use this ship in an attack from the archipelago in the Baltic Sea. That's what this ship is built for. We are very familiar with the environment in this region, and this ship is built for the environment around here.
It looks like it moves though. I can't lie, it looks like it moves. I know I don't know a lot about the Navy because I just don't care about Navy that much. I'm land and air, that's what I care about a lot. But I don't know if this is normally how fast the ships be moving, but this thing is moving.
The environment in this region, and this ship is built for the environment around here.
Yeah, that's moving.
Sweden, with over 250,000 islands, among the most of any country in the world, relies on its navy to protect its vast coastline and archipelagos. A key component is the amphibious corps, which specialises in coastal defence.
Since the Swedish coastline is very different, thousands of islands, from small ones to big ones, with trees, without trees, the system and the capabilities that the amphibious battalions holds, it's also unique in the world, I would say. We bring our own sustainability. We live and work from our boats that are designed to operate in these conditions.
Operating from the domestically designed and built Combat Boat 90, the amphibious corps have been active in these archipelagos for centuries and know the region better than anyone.
Our main operation area is where the sea meets the land. Either it's an open coast or archipelago. We are designed to work on the water, below the surface, on land and in the air around the Swedish coastline.
Among Sweden's many islands, the most strategically important is Gotland, sometimes referred to as the Baltic Sea's unsinkable aircraft carrier. Its location, roughly halfway between mainland Sweden and the Baltic states, is crucial for controlling military and economic movements and deterring threats to NATO territory. The Gotland Regiment plays a key role in safeguarding the island's security.
So the symbol for the battle group Gotland and the Gotland Regiment is the ram. The ram symbolizes strength and the will to survive in harsh conditions on an island in the middle of the Baltic Sea.
NATO forces have long trained and exercised on Gotland, but Sweden's NATO membership now means that the island could become a hub for NATO operations and for monitoring Baltic Sea activity.
Coming into NATO gives...
Man, I'm telling you, you can recognize American military. Okay, maybe not everybody is going to be able to do that, but man, the moment I see the clips, I know, oh yeah, that's American military. But uniquely speaking, Sweden and Finland, their military uniform is quite close. They're on the darker side. Colors exclude the winter ones, because good lord, the winter ones are amazing. I love the Finnish Swedish as well. Military clothes, man. That white looks, just blends, man. Blends in the snow. I love it. It's amazing.
Opportunities to use Gotland as a hub for maritime operations, for logistics, and also different kinds of weapons systems which could provide aid, for instance, to the Baltic states. So it could be a platform for long-range fires as well.
Patrolling Sweden's 3,200 kilometres of coastline from the sea is crucial, but protecting it from the air is just as important. Sweden's Air Force includes its powerful Gripen jets, which are known for their agility, range, and ability to operate in various conditions.
So we always have at least 2 aircraft in constant readiness for air police mission, or to identify, collect information, or to intercept an aircraft coming too close to NATO territory.
With a fleet of more than 200 aircraft, advanced radar systems, and a unique concept of air operations, which includes the use of civilian infrastructure such as highways for jet takeoffs and landings if the need arises, Sweden's Air Force adds both capability and innovation to NATO's air defence.
Sweden and Finland's accession to NATO means a lot when it comes to geography. We can bring our situational awareness, our early warning concepts, and overall our knowledge of the situation in our region, and combine that with other NATO alliance, which will really strengthen our situational awareness in the high north.
The high north is a harsh and unforgiving environment, but operating effectively in extreme climates and rugged terrain demands specialised units. Located to the north of Sweden, the Swedish Army's Norrbotten Brigade is specifically trained in cold weather and Arctic warfare.
During winter times we have almost no light, few roads on long distances, and often also in winter time we have the extreme cold, going below 30 minus. So that's a challenge, and we really need to have the right equipment, and of course bringing the unit together, exercising, training in this environment.
The Norrbotten Brigade is equipped with tanks and combat vehicles specially designed and modified for Arctic operations.
We are in the training field. We have just dismounted from a CV-90 combat vehicle, and my squad is taking terrain in a forward direction.
With a personnel of 1,500, the brigade includes full-time soldiers, reservists and conscripts, all bringing a diverse mix of skills and backgrounds from across Sweden and sometimes even beyond.
I'm from Paisley, Glasgow in Scotland. I moved to Sweden when I was young, when I was 6 years old, and I've grown up here, so Sweden has become my home, and makes sense to defend it. Joining NATO, for me as an individual, it means that I get to help not only defend what has become my home country here in Sweden, but the country where I'm from as well, which is the United Kingdom. And so I've learned a lot of things, and I've realised that if you have the right people beside you, you can do pretty much anything.
But Sweden's contributions to Euro-Atlantic security go beyond air, land and sea.
Space is something that we use daily.
I thought y'all was talking about nuclear, dog. Hey, I don't know if Sweden has nuclear, but yeah, in the times that we're living in today, man, like, you need that joint. Like, and a lot of places do not have it, and I wish nobody had it, but
For communication, for weather forecast, for surveillance, wide range of different areas where we actually are very dependent on space.
Esrange Space Centre, located in northern Sweden, is a leading European space facility operated by the Swedish Space Corporation. It supports satellite operations, rocket launches and atmospheric research, making it a key asset for space and defence initiatives.
Please follow me. In Sweden, but I think also other countries in Europe have learned now what is happening in Ukraine. You need to have space assets that can see actually what is going on and what is to plan and be prepared. The terrestrial network is shut down immediately when the war breaks out. What can you do with space assets? You can have communication, you can do a lot of things with that. And you see also what we are doing with drones and with unmanned vehicles today. It's today controlled by space assets, so that is important.
If we see a war situation where actually the mobile networks, they are not working, then we will be much more dependent on satellite communication, and we need to be ready for that situation. What is key also is that you have the capability to send off satellites from different places around the globe. We are based out of Europe, and this is the only facility that has these capabilities.
Sweden's path to NATO was not one that was taken lightly, but with a war on Europe's doorstep, and an existential threat to its borders, the Nordic nation ultimately decided it was safer within the alliance than standing alone.
The strength that 32 allies bring together, both in terms of deterrence and of course also the operational capabilities to take up the fight if necessary, is absolutely convincing.
And as a NATO member, Sweden's contribution to collective Euro-Atlantic security in terms of experience, equipment and personnel, as well as its geographical location at the heart of Europe's north, means that in both the Baltic and the Arctic regions, NATO is better equipped to protect its populations against any external threat.
We have to understand that we are an ally, and as ally you share blood and you're solidaric. And by our accession into alliance, we are safer, but NATO is also stronger. And that makes me proud as a Swede.
That's true. That's true. Not for a second, you know, you could ever think to yourself that Sweden and Finland don't bring a lot to NATO. Like, I'm not even trying to overpraise Sweden and Finland, especially Finland on this one. But the truth is the location is literally like 90%, in my humble opinion. Like, it's so, dude, I don't want to get into it, the obvious, but the location, look at where Finland is at, right? Look where it starts at, look where that's at, look where Sweden is at, look at the canal or whatever the hell you want to call it, that, you know, I don't remember what it's called, okay, so forgive me, but the little ocean, little sea right there that you, and forgive me, I'm not using specific terms, I know, don't be mad, just focus on what I'm trying to get at, right? That right there, they got the water right there. That's where, right there, Sweden, you got that. That is accessible by NATO because Sweden is part of NATO, right? You talking about Finland, you got all of that in Finland, right? It is borderline, like, I don't know, man, like, they bring a lot, okay? That's all I'm gonna say. Logically speaking, I'm not talking about the resources that they have. I'm talking about their location. Just their location alone gives NATO like a major advantage, and it's as simple as that. So shout out to both Sweden and Finland. Obviously, I do know more about Finland regarding NATO, and I think it's a good move that they're both in NATO. Like the guy says, it helps, you know, a little bit of more security, you know, to know that you're not going to fight alone if there comes a situation where there's, you know, need to fight. So I think it's great in my humble opinion. But thank you guys for watching this video. I'm out of here.